What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So, the question you have to ask yourself, the question I ask myself is, what did the younger you or the younger me needed of me, right? Essentially, what are the things that I needed when I was younger? What did I need to be? Who did I need to be, rather? And so, the first couple of things that spring up that come to mind is I needed a role model. I needed a father figure. I needed someone to guide my delusions, if you will. I needed somebody to tell me that I was wrong, that I was acting up, someone to mimic even, right? To learn how to be and then discard what I didn't need and hold on to what I did need. So I needed that. Didn't have that, right? Didn't have that structure, right? That father figure, if you will. Somebody to tell me that I was acting up. And then by the time I did have it, it was maybe too late. I was too rambunctious by that point. I'd been programmed a certain way that perhaps didn't allow me to take in what I was receiving. The other thing was that I needed to stay away from vices, right? I fell deeply and easily into smoking weed because it was easy, and I was in California and laws were lax and the people around me indulged in it as well. And so it was an easy thing to do. And frankly, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. I liked the feeling of it, but fast forward, I mean, you start doing it 10 plus years and you start to realize like, wait a minute, this is starting to take a hold of me and for the worse rather. And frankly, it had gone too far. So that was a concern of mine, looking back now as I'm older, that I needed to do when I was younger was to stay away from those type of vices. Whatever, dabble in it for a bit, seasonally, occasionally, once a month maybe, but not every day, not multiple times a day. So there was that part, right? Wrestling with that monkey, and getting rid of that. The other thing was seeking validation from women. I think more so than anything else, that right there has been, and I think it's an Achilles heels for a lot of young guys, right? Because we want that. We want, we're punch drunk and we're suckers for love and we're lovesick and we don't want to be alone, and we thirst comfort and we want to indulge in in the female body, if you will, and so that's always a thrill. And if you know and naturally it's something that as a guy you want to aspire to be, right? You want to be the guy that girls like, and it's easy for you, right? And so you take a lot of stock in what you can do with that and in that department. And so I did that, right? And for better or worse, I had some moments where I was having some success and then I fell off and couldn't find my stride, and then I came back and realized it was all a waste of time. But I think anchoring my value as a man around that was kind of an L as a young guy. And so I say all this to say what? Like, none of this time did I ever cultivate any of my passions. Did I ever dive into creativity? I read a bit, but I didn't chisel up any skills. I didn't really take working out seriously. I didn't work on anything that you could say later on down the line I could reap the benefits of, right? I didn't invest in something in the long term. Nor did I even like run in a certain direction, right? So I didn't even have like an obsession. I wasn't like a master sculptor or even a gym rat, even, right? I just didn't have any hobbies. I didn't play video games. I didn't do anything really. I just kind of sat around, listened to music, and didn't do much. I mean, I did socialize, so there was that part of it, right? I did have some friends, so I did hang out a lot. That was sort of like what I did with my free time, but I didn't do anything worthwhile, right? And so I had to play catch up, and I had to, in many ways, I had to hurry up, right? I had to speed run. I had to sprint, to just catch up to my peers, because I saw the people around me, and I'm just like, I'm taking everything too lightly. I'm thinking that time is on my side, that I'm gonna die when I want to, and so I had to really change my mentality around what I wanted for myself. So the question for you is like, what do you want for yourself? And what would the younger you need from you now, not later, not down the line? You know, because hindsight is always 2020. Of course, it's easy for me to look back and think, okay, these are the things that I need to do. But what about if I had me when I was young to tell me, hey, take your life serious, you know, do the things you need to do to put yourself in a position to get lucky. Have a little fun in the process, right? But be daring, be a force to be reckoned with. These are all things that I think to myself now, like, man, if you have that as a young guy, if you're given the tools to execute, especially in this world, the way things are, the way that the sort of feminization has been engineered into the sort of environment, if you're able to stand out as a result, and despite that, I mean, it's just like you really do feel, you just feel like above the clouds in many ways, right? Because you're not dealing with these sort of surface level distractions. You are guided by the spirit in a way that really does bring value to the world, but also makes you feel appreciated. And at the end of the day, look, I think we all need to kind of be shepherds of our own, shepherds of a family, shepherd of whoever it is that you're with, and the people that you're guiding, and the people behind you. And I think that's sort of like the metaphor for life, is to be a shepherd. And to, like I said, to be the version that the younger you needed then and now, not later on down the line. So, like I said, it's weird. I didn't know how else to articulate it other than like, what did I need then that perhaps I am now? And it's kind of, I guess it's an intervention of my present with my past and what I'm looking forward to do now. Because I really do feel like agency is kind of like the theme here, right? This is the moment to sort of take what I have and run with it in the way that I think I absolutely need to, and the way that I think you should, if it resonates with you in any way, right? This whole idea of be who the younger you needed you to be. Anyhow, I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.